Okay, Mr. Solomon, can we start?
Yes, sure. We
All right.
can start. All right.
Think so.
Okay. So good evening, everyone. Um, how many of us were able to do the assignment that was given?
None.
Uh, this person is so bold. You answered for everybody. He said none.
WPS.
You're using WPS.
I mean, I had like a situation, but well,
When you say situation, like in life, or are you referring to situation in terms of your system with the
so
whole thing? Was
I've not been able to use my system. I asked like which app to download. I was not able to download it yesterday. It was today I downloaded it in church, so I was not able to do
which
it.
app is that? The Microsoft Office.
Yes, sir. Microsoft 365.
So what have you been doing in class since? What have you been using for class since, rather?
I'm not. I've just been watching and listening.
Oh, fantastic. So is there anyone that actually did the assignment though? Okay. Oh. Oh, Junwa. You are our WPS. Okay, I get now. Did you do the assignment to Junwa? Chukuma
About
Marachi.
to. I'm on it, sir.
You cannot be on it though.
I'll submit.
Okay. BDC, BBDDDD, all of that. Okay. Even though I didn't get to see the code, what you typed in, but Amarachi, well done. Okay, so because we have quite a number of things to cover today, we're going to go through referencing, VLOOKUP, and then charts. Basically, that's what we're going to be doing today. So okay. All right, so no problem. We'll start with the assignments. Those who couldn't, those who probably still have one or two issues with the whole thing will be sorted out right in class. All right, so let's start. Hope you all can see my screen, which is important now. Okay. So give me a second. Okay, so to be able to, let's first start with what we're meant to do. So we're meant to take it steps further by handling. What did we talk about? We said let me look at what I sent to Mr. Solomon. That should give a clearer what I wanted to do. All right, so we did, we said greater than or equal to 90 is A, right? And then greater than or equal to 70, B, greater than or equal to 50 is C, and greater than or equal to 40, D, then anything below 40 is F. Okay, so doing that, let's do this fresh. So those who still didn't really understand yesterday, you have an opportunity to understand better today. So please do pay attention as we go forward. All right. So equal to, remember any formula you're doing, you start with an equal to, then we start with if. Our logical statement, first we want to find out if it's, our first condition is for A. So is it greater than or equal to what? 90, comma, then what we want to display if it is true. Okay, then another if statement. Same old, say greater than or equal to, it feels quite easy once you know what you need to do. 70, that's a B, right? Then you have an if statement again. For your C, you say if this is what? Greater than or equal to, greater than or equal to, what's the next condition? 50, or anything above 50 and above. Okay, then we're now looking at what that is a C. Then the next one is for a D, and we say if, same thing, say greater than or equal to 40. Is it 40? Yeah, 40 is what? A D. And now the last condition is F. So definitely whatever doesn't favor all these other conditions will definitely fall in F. Now, if you remember clearly, I mentioned that be very careful to close all the brackets. So, and the easiest way to just know the number of brackets you need is just to count the number of if statements you have. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4 if statements, which means I need what? 4 close brackets. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. And we've handled all of that. And then click on enter. Okay. And voila, we've answered the assignment. Okay. I'm going to be going back and forth to be able to continue to take you guys along. Oh, sorry. Can you all see my screen? Let me join with my phone as well so that I can see. You can see my screen, right? Okay. But let me join my phone so that I can follow the chat. This grammar explained to you. The formula is a bit perplexing. What am I now supposed to do? Is analytics I teach you, it's not English. So, Mr. Emmanuel. The sound is a bit low. Okay, let's start so that because I need this to move smoothly. But firstly, before we, oh, this is better, right? Oh, okay. Sorry, it's my earpiece was in a different part. Okay, so you can all hear me well, can you? Let's be very certain. Okay, you all can hear me clearly. Good. All right. Were you guys able to follow me with the formula? Did you get it? Or do we need to go through that again so that we can carry on along? So the problem is, I'm seeing responses that I do not even know if it is to my question or to a miraculous question that was asked in my absence. So when I said he didn't get it to, is it, is it the question I asked that they're replying to? Okay. Let's go. I'll just run through it again just for sake of those who didn't get it. I don't know if you can, once you can see this, can you see this formula well? Okay. Since you can. Okay, so let's move. So going through it again will simply be, we already know what we're looking at. We're looking at A is greater than or equal to 90. B is greater than or equal to 70. C is greater than or equal to 50. Okay. Yes, you can use MS Excel app for this. Then D is greater than or equal to 40, and then anything less than 40 is NEF. Okay. So going through that again is simply, we have our first if, open bracket, our condition is what? Oh, see the mistake that I said don't make and I made it. We start with an equal to, all right? Then I made what I wanted to do ineffective. So greater than or equal to. Now, something we probably didn't talk about last class. Do not, there's a reason we say greater than or equal to, right? Greater than or equal to. There's a reason we say that because the greater than has to come before the equal to. If you put the equal to before the greater than is an error. That comes before the less than comes before the equal to. So don't think that you can rearrange this in case you want to try something new or you want to experiment. They're just just helping you to know that that's not necessary. So we have greater than or equal to 90, and that's an A. Then we have our second if statement that's going to handle the B, right? That same place, greater than or equal to, what's the next one? So it's 70, right? Yes, so 70. And that gives you B. Another if statement, same. So greater than or equal to, the next is what? For a C is 50. Okay. So that's greater than or equal to 50. And it gives you what? A C. All right, then you have the next logical statement, greater than or equal to, we say 40. That gives you what? A D. A C, sorry. Yeah, a D. Sorry about that. Gives you a D, and then there's no need to have another condition because the final condition is anything less than 40 is an F. And the reason you don't need to do any other thing is for it to have gone through all these conditions and ending at the F. F is the last condition. If you don't favor all these other conditions, then that means at the end of the day you fall under the last condition category. So which is why we don't need a special condition for that. We just say if all these things are false, then you give the person an F. And now I said, remember, the number of brackets you have to close is dependent on the number of if statements you have. So in this case where you have, let's count together, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, right? We have 4 if statements. With that, we need to close this bracket 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 close brackets, then enter, and we have our formula working. Okay, taking note that things that we're learning are being able to automate your day in the office, which is quite crucial. Okay, so briefly, think I can hide this. Oh, the table 4. So, okay, that's a good question. So, because we've created this as a table, right? Is the table name more or less? And since I haven't renamed, let's go to table design. It should be. Oh, okay. So the table 4 you're seeing here is simply based on referencing. It's just referencing what this cell is. It's saying in table 4, this creation under total, because you see, let's go back there. You see, let's open this. So you see table 4, you now see total, which is trying to say in table 4, and this is in the total table. All right, sorry, the total column in table 4. The total column in table 4 is basically what that table 4 means. The total column in table 4. Okay, and this is only something that appears when you've converted your data to a table. I hope that clarifies things for you. Who's that? Onye? Did you get what I said? Okay, while I wait for your response, let's move. So briefly, we want to go through. We want to be able to use. We want to go through the. Well, this wasn't completed by the person there. All right. So we want to be able to go through a bit of what we've done before. But now I want to do the referencing. Okay. Now in referencing, we want to now see how can we isolate certain things. Okay. So briefly, I'll just create this table for us to. I think let me zoom in a bit. Okay, let me start. So let's say. Sure. Okay. I think we can do this here. We can continue with our table that we have. Okay, so imagine that still working with our school. All right, still working with the school analogy, right? Imagine now that there are times where I've forgotten what the scenarios usually are in school again, where there are some issues either and there was a mistake in marking, or the teacher just realized that it seems everybody failed my course. Now we want to be able to add. Teacher says, okay, is giving free 10 points to everybody. Okay, so now the question is, how do you now add the 10 points, right, to each one of the exams? You want to add 10 points to all of this, right? So let's say we create what we call extra points. And the extra points, we call the extra points, say 10 points to every single person. 10 points to everybody. All right. Just so that. Okay. So if we wanted to add 10 points, right, to this guy, now let's say we create a new column first of all. want to add a new column, let's the updated scores. That will be on the total, right? And then we now say insert. Sorry, let's do. Okay, so we have now the updated total. So we want to update it with 10 points. Okay, now let's look at how we could do this in different ways. So firstly, we want to say, would have just said, now if someone says, someone will probably guess, can we use the sum? We say this, then we now say, well, comma, and then we say 10, right? Open, enter. Okay? And this is one way to get it through. Are we together? Because I cannot hear you guys, I really need you guys to be as active as possible in terms of the chat. Just give me a response.
No, sir.
If I didn't ask this extra time now, you would have let this know.
Sorry, can you understand?
Can you please? Please. Thank you.
Some people say we can hear you, we understand. Some people say come again. I should not have said you people should respond because it seems that I was enjoying myself till you people responded. All right, so let's go through that a bit. Let's go through that again. So I was trying to say the scenario is a teacher wants to add 10 more points to all her students' final score, probably because they performed poorly. Okay, so now them performing poorly, say, okay, now let me help these people. Let me help them. So I want to add 10 more points to my students to boost their grade. Okay, I don't know if you all went to schools where that happened. But let's start from there. Do you guys understand that scenario? Have you witnessed that before? Respond in the chat. The person that missed the class, they didn't do it in your school. And your school was a strict school. Oh, sorry, oh. For the person they didn't. Okay, good. Okay, at least my fellow local school people are here. It's good that the curriculum does not finish in the full year. All right. So that's good. So that's what we're trying to look at. Remember that everything we're trying to break down, everything we're trying to break down here is how do you easily automate certain things? How do you easily do certain things that just makes it go smoothly? All right. How do you make these things go smoothly? Because when you think about it, if you do not know how to use, okay, the online class of last Saturday, if you missed it, don't worry about it. They will the video should be sent to you guys. If it has not been sent, it will be sent. Sorry about that. I think yesterday's one and today's one will be sent. So don't worry about it. You should be able to retract your steps and understand better and go through it. Because even your what you'll be giving, your assessment, you'll be given at least a week or two to be able to submit it. So you'll be able to go through the videos. Back to what we're saying. 10 points, right? We want to look at what are the different methods. Taking note that when you're in a workplace, nobody's going to force you to use a method to achieve your goal. But you, based on experience, based on time, taking on certain things, you understand that okay, when you use this is the best in this scenario, this is the best in this scenario. So there are probably like 4 or 5 different ways to answer a particular question in analytics in Excel. But it is now what sits best with you. What do you enjoy using the most? What makes you just feel like I sabi this thing there. So that's one of the things. So one of the methods we can use is what, now that we understand sum, right? Equal to sum, you click on that and then just comma and then you have the other number. Remember we said in sum Comma just shows that you're putting the second value that you want to add to the first value. So no matter the number of values, you mean you're summing all of them together. So one of the methods, we can even start on a more local level. If we say this, and we say we use the plus symbol and say 10, right? Enter. That's one method. Okay? Then the next, before someone said I did magic, they didn't understand, please. So did you guys get this method?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So you have this plus 10. It automates. All right. Good. Good. Now, another method is what? Is what we did before, which is what we use the sum. So that number, comma, don't forget that, 10, enter, right? It changes the whole thing straight away. All right. Now, what we want to learn is how do we add certain things, because we're just using this scenario, but I need you to expand your mindset to think of things like, okay, salary. They want to increase salary by a certain percentage. How do you add it for all the employees you get? How do you do it for everybody in the company? And if it's something that you now, in a case where you do it regularly, okay, you do it regularly. How do you now automate it regularly? Do you want to always come here to say to change this or to be changing this number all the time? Is that really what you want to do? Right? Because in a bigger data set, certain things are a lot harder. You now begin to understand that there are certain methods that will be easier for things to go. These things are moving faster because we're having nothing more than 20 to 22 rows. Okay. But there are data sets that are as long as 20,000 rows, 150,000 rows. It will automate like this, but it also take time because it's going to take its time to implement the formulas from top to bottom. All right. So now we want to use this formula. We want to use this particular formula to explain better what we want to do with referencing. Okay. Now, I don't want to type in the number. I want to always reference it from here. That's this guy. Okay, please follow me very well. Now I want to reference from this person from here. Why? Because maybe I'm a teacher that I always I give extra points, right? I always give extra points. But now it depends on how I feel. Sometimes it's a certain amount, sometimes it's a certain amount. So I don't always want to come and disrupt the formula I have here. I just want it to be a place I just change it, right? Now, if I click here, is me referencing this number, isn't it? Do you remember? If I click here, this means what? Is putting in this 10 that is here as J2. Isn't that so?
Mm.
Good. All right, so we click on enter, right? But there's a problem. If you look at it, it's only this first one that changed, that had the 10 points added. The others are still the same. This is 68, 68, 55, 55, 51, 51. Why is that happening? It's simply because of referencing. All right. So if we double click here, you see this J2, right? If we go to the next line, J3. So what does that mean? The system Excel automatically feels like, oh, okay, you're referencing this whole thing down. So that means we want to move. So, okay, let's go for the next guy. We'll go down. Oh, the next guy will go down. And all of those things. And he begins to add it as he goes down. Are we together?
Yes.
Hello, are we together? Okay, good. So this is now what we want to change, because you go all the way down. This is J14. But what we want to tell the system now is, as you go down, we want it to still be J2. We want it to remain as J2. We don't want it to move down to J3, J4, J5, J6. No. Collect it from here, but you can change this other part, this total area. You can change that one yourself, right? Let me do Let me see if this helps in any way. Okay. Okay, so the reason why I wanted to do this is, as much as the total is really, really nice, you guys will just keep getting confused with what we want to do here. So I will quickly edit this briefly, nothing too complex, so that you all can really understand what we're doing. Okay, so I believe this will best explain quite a lot that we'll be talking about. All right, so let's keep going. Now, let's create this again. So we said 10, right? All right, good. Now, with 10 points, good. Now what we're trying to explain. If you have this guy plus this guy, right? Now, in a typical situation where you've not converted this whole thing to a table, is what I want us to see, so that you can begin to see the E2, L, I2, and all of those things, so that you see what really happens. Now, when you click enter, take note, it does not automate. It's something where you have to remember that part we said you drag down. Yeah. So same thing we said, it is showing us what it's moving. Now, how do we make sure it stays in one place? We want to say, okay, E2, this is why I did this whole thing, so that you can see this difference. E2, E3, I3, right? Okay, E5, so E5, I5, right? Then you have E20, I20 plus I20. Okay. So the goal here is, how can we make sure that E2, the E changes and continues to go down that way, E2, E3, E4, E5. But the I does not change, it should remain as this I2. What you do is, well, absolute referencing, which is what we use it, we hold it up with the dollar sign. Now, this is what it means. Dollar sign before the letter means maintain this column. So when we say maintain this column, we're referring to the fact that, okay, imagine if we were dragging it from left to right. Okay, that means what to be changing are the letters. You remain at it at 2, but you would have had A2, B2, C2, D2, E2, F2, and all of that. So in that case, we would have said, oh, maintain this column. But this time, we're dragging from row to row. That means from top to bottom, right? And because we're dragging from top to bottom, we need to maintain the row. And the row is what? The number. So we put the dollar sign in front of 2. This is saying stick to this row even as you drag down. Okay? So in that case, we will enter, and then When I drag down, you see now that the 10 has been implemented. Are we together? So the 10 has been implemented. So now when I go to the next place, you can see that it's still I2.
Is this thing like?
You can see in the next place, you have E5
Look my
plus what?
head.
I2.
Welcome to now. You're
Two is
asking me if it's
maintained.
I'll give you a bare body to tell you
Please
that
mute yourself. Someone,
it's
you're not muted. Okay. So, did you understand that? Say mute. Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
So, did you guys get what we just did? Any responses? We are about how many in the class? Oh, we're about 38. So, did we all get it?
Sorry, I
Good.
lost track
Good.
at some point because of my network.
Okay. What point is that?
We were saying how we do instead of like for the I to like calm down. So my network just went off.
Okay. Okay. That's not far from where we are. Oh, I can go back for that. So generally for everyone,
Me too. My network was bad. I don't really
yeah.
understand the equals to E5 plus $1 too.
I won't be able to go too far back. Most of the videos will explain it, but I will go back a bit and see what we can do to best explain it to you guys so that you follow us as we move. But generally, the best bet will actually be that you guys will go through the recording later on. All right. So, but now, what I was trying to say is, I moved us from this place where it's a table because, as I explained, you probably will not understand when I say it's changing as it goes down on the left side. That is from the F column, because it's now a table, so it's reading the full column name and it's changing. It's not showing you what it's changing as. So we came back to just having a raw. Now having a raw, you can see that this is E2. Now if we did it the way it was before, it would be that now. Let's say we drag it down. Okay. All right, good. So we drag it down. You see that only here changed. This is E2, E2, I2. This is E3, I3. That is what you can see where it's highlighted. This place is red. That's to tell you what's involved. So this is showing you that the two columns, the two cells being added are this cell and this cell. So it's changing, right? And this is changing as well. So you see E3, I3. Okay. Same thing goes for the next E3, E4, I4, then E8, I8. Now, we don't want it to move the I area, but the E can continue to move. Okay. And in that case, we now have to do what we call absolute referencing, right? So where we look at, and I was explaining that the dollar sign is what we use, but now the dollar sign can appear before the letter and before the number. All right. Now, dollar sign before the letter simply means as we drag it towards, this is more when you want to drag to the left or right, right? From left to right. If you're dragging this to the left, you know that the column will be changing. So this will change from, if you drag from here to here, it will change from, I2. Sorry, if you drag it from here, yes, you change from I2 to J2. To J2, it will maintain the column. Sorry, to maintain the row, which is 2. But now if you're dragging from top to bottom, the number will change, which is the rows. All right. So in that case, For what we are looking at, we want to maintain the row because we know we're not dragging it left or right, so the column is not going to change. What is going to be changing here is, and what has been changing since, is the row. So putting dollar sign in between the letter and the number, that is, in other words, is before the number, is telling the system, Excel, please maintain this column, this row. Do not change this row. The other guys can change, that is E. E can change as it goes down, E2, E3, E4, right? So when we click on enter, and then we implement it. When we let that go, we see now that the 10 has been added to everybody. Okay, so coming here, you can see now that it's I2. Okay, I2 with E9. So that means this guy is not changing. You can see the two that are highlighted. This is highlighted, telling that, oh, we're still summing this guy with it. So in business, you can see there are so many scenarios you can use to do this. You can look at percentage increments in salary, how you want to implement it for all the employees. If they all are to be increased by 20%, everybody, this is an easy way to do that. Setting bonuses, this is an easy way to do that. You understand? You don't need to go and start making a whole column for that, because referencing from a single place, since it's the same, so different scenarios where you are using exactly one value, you understand, for everything, there's no need to make a whole new column for that value. Whatever that calculation that is requiring that particular value, you can implement it in this way. All right. This is the advantage of. Hope we've gotten that before I continue. Now, everybody, those who were lost, hope you're not lost. Hope your network didn't go off while I was explaining it the second time.
So I found.
You are found. We thank God. All right. So now let's continue. This is the reason why we do this, so that if I want to make changes here, and I say, okay, it's 15 points I want to do for this set, right? I click on enter. Did you notice the change?
Yes, sir.
All I want in this our class today is just yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. Please. So let's be going with the yes, sir. So you notice the change. That is why we're implementing it. Good. That's why we're implementing it. The reason you've implemented this method is whenever you need a change, you don't have to come here, because sometimes you make mistakes in editing the formulas, because it could be longer than this, whatever it is, but you could make a mistake here. And then if there are cases where you do a template, another employee is supposed to use it. So what makes it usable where they don't need to always call you, Mrs. Chinyere, please come and explain this your formula again? No, all you need to do is tell them, okay, in terms of extra points, right, all you need to change is here, to implement itself in everything. You understand that? So that is simply what it is. In terms of extra points, you just implement it here. You just implement it here to take effect here. Do you understand that? So that is all we need to do. That is why you implement it. So I hope with this you fully understand the absolute referencing, which is what you really require. And yeah, that will be that for that. Then now we can move to the next guy. Give me thumbs up if you're ready to move to the next guy, if it's fine to move, or should we stay here?
Sir, I have a question.
That's it sounded like a question, yes?
Okay, so if we are doing it based on percentage value, do we do 10, then the percentage sign beside it? Also calculate that by itself.
Yeah, so that's
a different
really just
to do.
No, it's the same. It's all about the maths. You already know what you need to do. So it's, if you're doing a
So you're breaking.
10%.
I know you clearly.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, it's better now.
All right, so I said if you're doing a 10%, right, you can see 10% I gave, right? But now you see that the effect
Yes.
is terrible because it's supposed to be what? Multiplication, right? But now there are certain things you
It's
have
the
to have
opposite.
implemented. You said? Hello?
Effect is the opposite.
I didn't hear you. You're the one now breaking up. Hello? Hello?
I can hear you, sir, but you're breaking.
I'm breaking. Can any other person hear me?
Yes, so
I can hear you, sir.
I don't know if it's only on my end.
Okay. Who else can hear me?
Hey.
Okay, okay. I think it's probably on your end. But can you hear us now?
Yes, sir.
All right. So in this case, the only difference is percentage is usually more, it's multiplication, not addition. So that's probably just all that will most likely change. Now, if you notice, I've implemented it. So this is an increment, increasing the score by 10%. Do you get? Hello? Okay, I think that person is really gone. Network is
Yes, sir.
bad. But yeah,
Yeah, that's right.
Yes,
do you
sir.
get it now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good, good. Did every other person get it? Because it's also really a nice question as well.
Yes, I got it.
All right, all right,
I understand, sir.
all right, good. So that's how you can implement it. So this is almost like what you would have done in cases of in case of a salary increment and all of that. Yeah. So in the case where you say, okay, you want to increase your students, usually we just use numbers because that's quite easy. But in salary is most likely a percentage. It's like 20%, like 30%, 5%, 2%, depending on what it is. All right. So that makes that easier. Now let's do the next guy. VLOOKUP. Now in VLOOKUP, oh, hmm, okay. In VLOOKUP, I think we will use this table. It's a better option. How many of us have this table? I think we did as class, as a class work something. You all have this table.
No, sir.
You
Yes,
should
sir.
have one.
Yes,
So the
sir.
class, this was class work,
Sir, it's
exactly.
just that what you said we should fill in was more than this. But we do.
No, that's fine. No matter the number of what you have is fine. My PA didn't do too much. PA was chilling on the wheels. All right, so let me briefly work on this. All right, so who's any 7 million? Who are you? Calm down. Well, how much is minimum wage? Okay, so all right, so if you don't, I think you can quickly have something like this. It's quite simple, or this is quite fast. So now I want to look into your boss has just told you, okay, can you get, I need to, how much is, okay, in this place we have Kemi, we have Ken, we have Felix, we have Patience and the rest. How much is Patience? Yeah, okay. How much is Patience earning? how much do we pay Patience? Or they say, okay, how much do we pay Patience, Ken, and Habib? Okay, so let's do, we say, so let's imagine this is what we're going to be submitting to our Oga. That's what he wants to see. So let's do. Okay, so now you've been given names like you've been given Grace. So we have Grace there. You've been given Ken. During Ken, you've been given Habib. You have Dorcas, and you have Blessing. Okay, so hope we're together. Now you've been given this 5 names, if not more, right? I know that we're just trying to, we're learning how to use these things, but in reality, in real life, there'll be a larger data set, which is what we're supposed to imagine and know. This is the reason why we are now making use of these functions. Okay. Now, in this, you're told, okay, I want to know what's the salary, right? Or in fact, let's also do the state of origin. What's data? What's data they from? Just call it state of origin. All right. So we want to get out this information. What's the salary that they earn and the state of origin? Okay. Hope we're still together. Hope you guys can hear me. So
Yes,
I don't say a lot of things and give full speech and then nobody heard anything. All right. So we want to now extract this. Now imagine that this is a data set with 200,000 rows, right? Do you imagine yourself scrolling down to start finding each name? To start saying, oh, okay, who is Grace? That's one. Even if it's a data set that you can even accurately, maybe it's not that large, you can scroll and find them. The next question is the next part rather is the reason you are automating things in Excel, in anything you do in tech right now is the reason AI and all these things are coming in is to reduce human error. All right. So that's what you're trying to reduce. As much as this is a small table, right? And I can clearly see Grace is from Imo. I will just type Imo, right? And then Ken is from Lagos. There's still a tendency that I will come in now and make a mistake and end up putting Ebony for Ken. That's an honest mistake. Another thing too is I may be typing the salary for Grace, and here is 300K. I may end up putting 30K. I may end up putting 3 million because I was the one that typed it in. Not because I cannot read, not because I cannot see, but because it's human error. Also taking note that obviously nobody is giving you one single job to do. Just one thing, do this for the whole day. No. You're being told, you're given several tasks. You have so many things on your table. So you don't your tendency of being accurate on each one of them by just looking at them and skimming through yourself is very low. Because of that, you reduce human error. Using human error is simply what? making good use of formulas, automation formulas that will help you do the search for you. So we come here, we look at the very wonderful guy called VLOOKUP. VLOOKUP has what is where you look up values. Okay, so the first thing, the first parameter is what value are you looking for? That's what you have to tell the system. So here we are looking for what? Grace. And Grace what? Yeah, so whatever is in here is what we're looking for, which is Grace. Okay, now the table array. This is now telling us, okay, what table, on what table are we searching for this whole thing? This is the table array. We're searching for it here. Okay. Now, the column index number. Now, the column index number is referring to which column are we getting out this value from? Taking note that this is column 1. Employee name is column 1. State of origin is column 2. Salary is column 3. So in this place, we're bringing out salary. Salary is what? Column 3. So we say 3. Okay?
Please,
Comma.
excuse me.
Please, I don't understand though. Come again.
Come again,
So
which
why
one?
did you highlight the table?
Why did I what?
When you are trying to write the formula for the VLOOKUP, how did you select the table, please?
By carrying my cursor and just highlighting it. So probably that's why it looked very fast.
Okay.
So so it's simply F2, I clicked here, right? Then table array is highlighting this table. So I just came here and highlighted the table with your cursor. Okay. So comma, the next parameter is the column index number. Now, column index number is the index number of what column is its return. What column is your result in? What is going to return? What column is it in? So since right here we want to return salary, we're going to do what is 1, 2, 3. That is column 3. Okay, we say 3. Now, comma, the last parameter is approximate match or exact match. Okay, now approximate match and exact match is simply saying there are certain times what you're searching for could be numerical values. What you're using to search could be numerical values, and there may be similar answers. So it's going to be, okay, give me my results with something closest to. So if I say approximate value, then I know that I'm not telling you to look for the exact number. If it sees the exact number, it will bring it out. But if it doesn't, it will give me something close to it. The closest value to it is what it will return. But now, in a general case that is straightforward, like we're looking for text, like Grace, that's what we're looking for. It's very simple. There's no exact match is enough. So when you select exact match, means it's going to look for exactly that name and return the value around it. Do we get? And that gives me the result. Grace, 300,000. Okay? Let's... Ihado, what's going on here? Something I did myself. They say it's hard though. Why is it hard? All right. Sorry about that noise. So the same way now, the advantage of Excel is that we're not dragging down. Okay.
Sir,
How
please
many,
take it
how many
again.
okay. How many people want us to take it again?
Me, oh, my brain.
Me too.
Oh. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. I understand completely. Okay.
Becoming
One.
complex. So,
It's sounding complex. Somebody that's about to even complain, his network is bad. The complaint is not even allowing it to happen. Network not allowing the complaint to happen. I'm coming. I'll take it again, guys. Fear not. That's why we are here. Okay, so let's all right. So the first thing, let's okay. There's a lot of me lost. Okay, let's go again. We first need to understand why are we doing it first. Did you guys understand why we're doing it before we go into what we are doing? Hello?
To reduce error.
So be able to find the exact position of stuff
Good.
instead of
Very
scrolling through.
good. Good, to reduce human errors. Very good. So we're looking for how to reduce human errors, and we're looking for how to extract information about based on we're looking for how to extract certain information about something from a data set. Okay. And the best way is to make sure the best way is to automate it, because when you automate it, you can proudly be sure of everything being accurate. I'm sure that if you've worked in certain places that deal with numbers, the numbers you've seen by yourself and you did not know when you added the extra zero. In fact, what are we talking about? A lot of people wanted to recharge their phones with just 100 naira and they ended up doing 10,000. All right. And then they have to beg all their friends, please, please, please. You must need credits. And because you must need credits, you must buy from me. Please, let me send to you. So that's human error, which is common and something we can all do, or we all do. So reducing that is what VLOOKUP will help you do as you extract data. And taking note too that the result you're sending to your boss is definitely going to be like in this format, because you're sending him this file or printing it. Okay, so it is going to be easier to just do such a thing. And then there are cases where he might want to keep doing, it's something you might be providing regularly. Okay, so because it's something you might provide regularly, you have to look for a way where it's somewhat automated. All right. Okay, now follow me, please. Equal to the formula is, or the function is VLOOKUP. So it is what? Looking up a value. So there are major things you have to put in your mind. The first thing is, what value is what's the major value we're looking for? We're using to look for the extraction we want. Good. So the lookup value, the value you're looking for, and then the value you're returning. Let me use that. Lookup value and then return value. Let's have that in mind. Did we get that first? Lookup value, return value, because this is what I'll be using to explain. Did we get that? I need yes, no. You be like, say,
Yes.
what's the response? Okay, thank God. There's no you be like, say, right? This person's no
I did not
is
get it.
this person's no is with so much audacity and curiosity. Another no. Let's go back. Okay. So I said there are two major things we're going to be using to understand what this formula does, which is lookup value and return value. Now, lookup value is what we're going to be using to search for what we want to return. Then return value is what we're returning. So for example, here in this case, we're looking for Grace. Okay. And what we want to return is Grace's salary. Do you now get lookup value, return
Yes,
value?
sir.
All the nodes, are you yes now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So that's what we need to just understand. So now it's now how does the formula arrange it in such a way that it's able to do it? Now the first parameter is the lookup value, which is what we're going to be searching for to extract, and that is Grace, the name Grace, which is why I've clicked on it here. You see F2. Okay, we now put a comma. The next thing now is you are telling the system, okay, the lookup value and the return value, this is where they are. That is, it is in this table. All right, which is what we call table array. Now you highlight the parts of the table that have this thing. So that's why we now highlight this guy to the very end, from beginning to the end. Employee column, the employee column state of origin, and then salary. All of that highlighted. Now you said, okay, what these two, the return value and the lookup value, where you will find the two of them is in this table. What I've highlighted. Do you understand so far? So that I don't do magic.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
This is what I just want to throw out this class. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No more no. In Jesus' name, amen. And let's continue. Is there any other yes, sir? Because I think we're about at something. We can't
Yes,
say
sir.
we can't say only 5 of us are active.
There's a no here.
No, that no is not a confident no. Because that no came out, it came out after I dragged for the no. I don't want your no. Thank you very much. The Lord be with you. What's the no? What don't you understand?
From C1. I mean
Ah.
C11. Yeah. How did
From
you
C11.
get the C11?
Yeah, that's the table array. A1 to C11 is the table array. That's this. Can you see? Is this in red on your screen?
Okay, noted.
Is this
Noted.
red on the screen? Good. So that's the table array. So now we've told the system that the return value and the lookup value are coming from A1 to C11. Okay, so in the system, Excel has taken note that Excel can tell that these are 3 columns. You don't have to explain anything. All it's doing is that it has highlighted this whole place. Now, that's taking note that these are 3 columns. Now you have to direct it. So after you've told them where you are finding the lookup value and return value, you now have to say, okay, now the return value, which column is that return value in? Okay, because now its system has to look for it. You know that obviously you cannot go and click on a particular cell because in reality you don't even know where it is. You just know that it is in this column. Do you understand that? We just know that it's in this column. So now you're telling the system, okay, look for what we are returning to me in this column. Now you just have to tell the system what's the column number. Column index number is what we call it, right? How do you determine that? You count from the first column. So this is employee name is column 1, state of origin is column 2, salary is column 3. And right here in this particular place, we want to return salary, not state of origin, salary. Are we together? And that's what are we going to be using? I want you to tell me now so that I know that you're following. So what is the column index number of our
C3.
return value?
Number
Good.
C3.
It's 3,
yeah.
not C3, it's just 3. Because the system is not counting whether it is a C, D, or any of this. It's just taking note that there are 3 columns. There's 1, 2, 3. You understand? If there are 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to 20. So you have to tell you what column. So there we say 3. Okay? We now say comma. The last parameter is true or false. Now, what I was trying to explain to you guys, for example, now our lookup value this time is a name. So it's a solid value. Sometimes your lookup value, imagine a case where what you're looking for is probably a number. So your lookup value is a number, and with the number, you now want to return something. Okay. So in that case, right, you have to, that's where you understand more about the approximate match. So it will mean that this value I'm looking for, find an approximate match. That is, if I put 2.5, if you don't see 2.5, if you see 2.49, that's the closest to 2.5, right? Give me the answer based on that. But let's not go too deep there so that you guys don't get confused. But basically, in this case now, all you need is what? Exact match, which is false. Now, usually once you get to that point, Excel gives you the option. So it's not compulsory you type it in yourself. You can just double click. And then now we can close the bracket. Before I click on enter, do we understand this? So I'm not happy, and I'm not now happy that everything is fine, and then people say you're not
Understand now,
happy.
sir.
Oh, beautiful,
Yes,
beautiful,
sir. Yes, sir.
beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right. So now when we click on enter, we now have a value. So now we know that Grace is earning 300K. The advantage of all these automations we're doing is that I don't need to rewrite the formula for everybody, right? All I need to do is what? Take my cursor to this part. When it gets, once the code, it shows me a black cross, I click and I drag down. It implements the formula for everybody. Do we understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, why did we do it this way? We did it this way because certain things can happen. For example, now, my boss may ask this same question another day, and the name is no more Grace. It's now for Felix. Right? Good. I just type in Felix and I click on enter, and Felix number salary appears. Do you understand? That is what we were talking about, automation, so that you don't have to always have to rebuild one whole thing. All you need to do is just change the parameters here, and then you always get the exact return value needed. Do we understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. If we understand, can you all do for state of origin, which is this other place? State of origin, can we do for it? Everywhere is quiet, so can we do for it? Okay, good. Let's go. Let's go. You do it, you snap and send the results. Let's see. I would have promised the first person that does it something, but since I cannot see people, there's no problem. I'll just pray for the first person.
I'm done, sir.
Jesus.
Yeah. Thank God I did not promise anything. No. Snap and send.
Jesus. How did you?
So said Jesus. Funny enough, it will be quite simple because you're basically changing certain parameters. Like in fact, it's not even certain. Let me not give expo. Well done, well done, well done, well done. Well done, Omotosho. Miriam, right? Were you in the physical class at all?
Yes, sir. I'm part of the front yard people.
You see, my physical class people, they will not disappoint me. Online, you don't have a representative. Yes, who else? The person that was shouting, how? Have you howled it? Yes. Please don't tell me one person has done it and everybody's quiet too. Where are the active? No, no, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir, no, no, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. People, where are you all? No, Chiamaka, nothing has happened. I was waiting for everybody to try out the state of origin. So that's why I've been quiet for a bit. Except you're referring to something else. The network is bad. Or Chiamaka, have you done it? If I say, do you understand now? The number of no's and partial yeses will be a lot. Now, everybody, what's happening? Chiamaka, what happened? Did you go off? You can speak if you can, so that we can, so that you don't have to type an epistle here. Hello, Chiamaka. Unmute and speak. Can I get hands up for those who have done it? Have you done it? Yes, no, yes, no. Where are you guys? Until I finish, and I quickly had to subscribe. Okay, where did you stop? Hello, guys. I'm not getting responses from you guys. Are we still on? Ben, is the only time I see you is when you have to say yes, sir, no, sir. I do not understand. Now, my question is, have you done the state of origin? You are still on it. Oh, okay, Chiamaka, don't worry about that. Sorry. Most likely you have to watch the video from the class.
So I'm still hooked up on the salary part too.
When you say you're hooked up on the salary part, what happened?
I followed all the steps, but it's still showing me N/A not available.
And snap your formula and snap your do a screenshot of your screen.
Okay, sir.
Let's see if we can decipher what's happening. The system is desktop and Nigeria decided to leave you without lights. Sorry about that. Yes, I think for those who are having network issues and all of that, the advantage is that the class is recorded, so you'll be able to go through it, especially before you do your assessment. Okay, so I'm waiting for the person who said he has to. The salary is not working for you. You've not screenshotted it? You've not snapped your screen? because I'm about to move ahead. And Bernice, where are you? I've not seen anything. No.
Adopted, sir.
Yeah, I'm just seeing it. Okay, so promise.
Yes, sir.
Try this. Highlight, do B1, your table array, do B1 to E11. So you don't even need to highlight it, just change that A to B
Okay.
and try it
P1,
again.
11.
Yes.
Mine is still saying error.
Who is that?
WPS.
The VPS, I give up.
So now I'm on the same hashtag reference, hashtag ref, exclamation mark.
Are you all having any issues with this? Well, now that you change it from B1 to E11. Oh, okay, sorry. B1 to E11, you
Yes,
also have
sir.
to change the 5 to 4.
Okay. It works now, sir.
Okay.
Thanks, sir.
You're welcome. WPS.
Sir,
So
I can
who is Amarachi? Hello, who's Amarachi? You sent an error message. But I can't really see your table in full. Do you have, if you have, what exactly, okay, so you have employee ID as well, right? If you do, then do the same thing. Change it from to B1 to E11, and then change your 5 to 4. So has it worked? So that I can also explain to everybody what the problem was. So you guys can as well learn from that. March, let me know when it works. Well, minus that. Okay, so guys, okay, work. Good. So what's the lesson that they would learn, right? Or what they have learned now is that okay, so the lesson is this. If you oh, is not. Sorry, there. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to. All right, so now the problem they faced, sorry about that, is that because from the system now, the system is trying to identify where it's supposed to search for Felix from, the employee name from. Okay, so we have to learn that. Hope I'm audible to everyone. We have to learn that. I just want to hear yes, thumbs up, whichever one you guys can do. So that we're together.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Promise is here. Okay. Oh, so Promise is the only person. Okay, and Bernice. All right. So, okay, more people. That's good. Now, what their error was is that they highlighted from here employee ID down to salary. Okay, because in reality, uh, um, we looked at the whole table, right? But I didn't have employee ID. Now I do. Okay, so why it didn't work is Excel is not necessarily seeing employee ID, employee name, state origin, and all these things. The computer is not seeing these things yet. All it's seeing is column A, B, C. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. That's all it's saying. So because of that, it needs to know where exactly is it searching for this lookup value in. And by default, it is doing that in the first column. All right. So whenever you're selecting the array, the lookup array, you have to make sure that the first column you are highlighting, oh my God, the first column you are highlighting has to be the column that has the lookup value. All right. I hope that's understood. So in terms of state of origin, it's more or less like almost, oh, sorry. Which is why I said I thought you guys would have done it faster. It's more or less like copying this, pasting, and sorry, pasting and changing certain values. So we're still going to have the same lookup value. This time, you see the same thing. It has gone to B1 to B11, and this time difference will be my value is in 2, not 3. Okay, so I'm looking at 2, not 3, and the same thing with false. Enter. Now I can see Ebony and the rest. Okay, and we get that, and that's how we do this state of origin. Hope that's clear to everybody. Nobody's lost.
Oh.
Everybody's found. Hello. That person that wants to complain or has a bad network. Sorry about that.
Yeah, the false.
You didn't what? I had
I'll
false.
false, yes.
And that's the last one. That's the last thing you put in. The last parameter is if
Okay, I
you
should
want
just
an
type false.
approximate match. No, even when you get okay, see,
Should I?
if I take it out, no, true. So if I take it out, once I put the comma, Excel gives you the option of true or false.
It's not bringing out anything.
And if you not, you can type in the false yourself.
Okay. If I type in the false, it brings out something else.
What does
Double
it bring? What? Hello? Is it your network? I can't hear you again. Okay. Anyways, now as we move forward, the last thing I want to talk about is chats, which is quite simple. Okay, that's what we're looking at lastly today. Chats, and that is done by simply let's use this the new guys that we just worked on. We highlight it, and then just highlight it first, please, everybody. Then we go to in chats, we're going to insert the insert tab. Remember in our first class, I said, if that first or second class, I mentioned that majorly most of your work falls in home and insert, 90%. Home insert, you get to a certain level, home insert and data are the things you'll be using the most. So the advantage of Excel is when you highlight a data set, it gives you, there's what we have recommended charts. You click on recommended charts. So what does the recommended chart really look at? It's just looking at, okay, it has looked at your data set and has looked at, okay, these are the best options you have. So either you like the recommended chart or you just click on all charts and look and select what you want. Do you understand? So either you do that, like, okay, it's a particular thing you want to do, you in particular, there's something you really want to do. Okay, that's not a problem. But if not, recommended charts are really nice. Okay, you can, okay, what's best, what fits into what you want, what looks like, excuse me, what looks like what you are looking for. Okay, so in this case, we can even look at the fact that, okay, do we really need the state of origin in this scenario? More or less, we just want to see, okay, this guy's on the salary recommended this time. Okay, we can see we can have a pie chart, we can have a bar chart, whichever one we like. Let's do pie. No, let's do bar. I hope we're still together, guys. Are we together? Well, we're crawling towards the end, so are we together? I did pass. My God. And this is the first time you've responded to anything today. Oh. Gambo, right?
You've left us.
Is this Gambo?
No.
Someone is supporting Gambo? Where did I
Yes.
leave you?
He left us behind.
If I left you, you were quiet and I was moving. I thought everything was going well. All right, so I'm back. I'm back to where you people are. Since Gambo has supporters. Okay, so all right, so basically we're just doing charts, right? And I wanted us to just focus on the salaries we generated here. So imagine you have to send the list of the names to your organ, like he wants a mini chat with it. Okay, just where you can just see and say, oh, okay, oh, this is the information based on this, which is something you'll be doing a lot. So we highlight employee name and salary here down. I didn't add the state of origin. Do you understand? So, because I think I understand that you guys are not necessarily seeing how I'm highlighting and all of that. So, but we highlight, employee name to salary. Are we all done that?
Yes, we're good. We're that.
Okay. Now you go to the insert tab up. Click on the insert tab, everybody, and then you see, then go to charts. Under charts, you first see recommended charts. Do you have that? Recommended charts. Under charts, you should see recommended charts. Do we have that? The spokesperson for everybody. You're not quiet too. Do you have that?
Yeah, sir.
Okay, because you started doing your work part time. The real person is not laughing. He's not telling me yes or no. Ngwana. So
We are
we
good.
have. Okay, we are good. We thank God. Because now, if I don't give me, that's why I'm taking it slowly now. If you are lost from here now, there are more things. Okay, so if you look at when you click on the recommended chart, it opens something, right?
Mhm.
Good. Now, what it opens, you now have recommendation. It has looked through your data that you selected, and it's like, okay, this is the best based on this. This is the best option based on this. This is the worst option based on this. So it's going to. Okay. So it's going to give you recommendations. Now, you might personally want to look a certain way. You might personally want to use a certain chart. Now, because of that, you can click on all charts that will just be in the same option just beside the recommended charts. Can we see that?
Yeah.
Very good. So from there, you have the options: line chart, pie chart, bar
Pie
chart.
charts.
Good. So you need to take note that there are just certain things. Okay. Column charts, bar charts, when you want to do a lot of comparisons. You understand? When you want to do a lot of comparisons, they are one of your best options. Okay. You want to compare certain things. You want to do, okay, you want to weigh by looking at the number of people, an individual salary, expenses for a particular distance compared to the others. You understand? You're looking at growth at a certain point. You use a lot of column charts for that, a lot more comparisons. Now, line charts, if you are talking about growth, you want to see like a growth. You understand? Like, okay, what's the sales of rice since 1988? You understand? The line chart just gives you a better feel of what the growth looks like. I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say. So because it's not like it won't work with other charts, but the question is what gives you better understanding of what you're looking for, right? That's what you use. So in terms of showing growth of something, range of something, things like that, you look at the line chart. Bar charts, when you want to begin to compare something, oh, they pay this person more, the income generated here, all of those things. You can talk about the column, bar chart, and all of that. Then pie charts, right? When you want to you deal with like you're dealing by a particular how do I put it? You want to see the portion in a particular slice. So you're looking at a case where from this particular place, what is everybody getting out of it? You understand? You want to see that direct comparison, right? Maybe you have it in percentage, you have it in numbers. So almost like in this if we use pie chart for this example, right? Depending on the question we are trying to answer, this is both right and wrong. But it's all depending on the question we're answering. Are we together? Please say yes. If I say no now, I'll just cry.
Yes,
Are we
sir.
together,
Together,
guys?
sir.
Okay, good.
Yes.
So, okay, good. So the pie chart, if the question we're trying to answer is, for example, let's say these people that their names are here are in different departments in the office, right? We want to see what's the difference in terms of, we want to see what's the pay gap between the different people in their different departments. Do you understand? If that's what we wanted to look at, okay, this will probably give us a better answer. We would have said, oh, wow, this department, they don't pay them anything, compared to, you understand, this department is being paid a lot more than the rest, but this is the least paid, this is the next person, okay? Right? So, but if it's a certain kind of comparison, okay, we're paying this person, we're paying this person, you can just use a bar chart for that. Okay, so what you are considering when you're doing your chart is not just about being able to generate chart, which is not what we're doing here. It's quite simple to generate chart. What's the key thing is you understand the required chart for the required question you're answering. So that when the goal is when the person sees the visualization, the person understands what they need to understand. They don't need to start overreading everything. They say, okay, wow. Once they see it, they know what they need. They know the information they are looking for. They've gotten it. Okay. So a lot of times, in this particular case that we have, a bar chart is fine. A column chart is really fine. So we can see, oh wow, Ken is the highest paid here. Okay. Followed by Blessing, then Habib, then Dorcas, and then Felix. Okay. Then you now begin to go a bit further. You go a bit further and then you begin to ask yourself, okay, first of all, the chart has to have a title that describes what the visualization is all about. Okay, you have something here, you can edit it, you can do whatever you want with it. Okay, and you can change colors and all of that. These are things you want to do. Now, by the side of your chart, you see this plus button. Do we all have this plus button? Do we all have this plus button?
I don't see on my own. No.
Yes.
If you don't see the plus button here, once you've clicked on the charts, by your top left, under files, just by your top left, you should see add chart elements. You'll see the same options that you have on the plus button. Now, the plus button, you'll begin to see axis. First thing is axis, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, so first thing is axis. Good. Now in axis, you're determining, you see an arrow, you can see primary horizontal, primary vertical, right?
Yes, sir, I can see them.
Good. So what are the axes representing? You see that I'm taking out the horizontal and vertical. What has happened? The numbers are out. Okay.
Yeah.
And then what is written down before was what? Salary, telling me what these things represent. Okay. Now, depending on how you arrange it in your dashboard, which is an advanced level, right? You now determine what exactly do you want these images to represent. Because, for example, I can take out those numbers by the side, right? And come to data label. That's what we call data label. You see, I've clicked on. Can you see data label?
Yes, sir.
Good. Data label now shows what? It shows the values these things represent. Okay?
Yeah.
Are we together? Good. Now, with the way it represents it now, I have an option of I can actually take out the both axes. Why? Because obviously you can see the amount, all right?
Yeah.
And then you can see this. But now you might be confused. Let's say if I don't write any other data around it. For example, now because of the title says what salary range of employees, all right? Or let's say we call it okay. So we say employee salary chart, right?
Yeah.
Good. So with that now, this already explains everything. So I don't necessarily need this side and this lower part. I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say, guys.
I guess, sir.
Good. Now, another thing, I can take out the grid lines. And that is an option under the plus, right? You can say grid lines. Okay, you can take out the grid lines. Now there are certain, you see all these charts you see on websites and the rest, they usually look this way, right?
Yes, sir.
Exactly. They usually look this way, there's nothing too much about them. It looks so plain. You're wondering, did they just
That's
adopt
simple.
this somewhere? Exactly, because the goal is not to make it complex for the person to be thinking too much and looking at too much. It is, there's a specific thing. It is that, oh, as this person has seen this chart now, does the person understand it? Yes. The header says what? Employee salary chart. And then I'm seeing the amount for each of these things. Do you understand? If I still had the axis on the left, right? If I still had it, I'd have been tracing this, right?
Exactly.
Oh, this is 600.
Okay.
This is 450. Do you understand? That's one. Two, if the if the difference was in hundreds, right? How will I trace 50K, 50,000? You
Half
understand?
of
If it was in
100
yes, but that's the point. The point is I will not be tracing it and saying,
is
okay, I
one by
think
one.
it should be 50,000. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Good. So this is like a major, this is a very simple edit. So this is what I'm trying to say. Now imagine here now, I will just assume this is 50,000. What if this is 70,000? What happens to me?
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yes, I understand.
So what if it's 70,000? How do I even know the exact amount? Because you see how it has changed? You see the advantage of automation. I changed the person's value from 50K to 70,000, and it has reflected everywhere needed. You understand? Good. That's the advantage. But now, see what I'm trying to prove. Maybe I would have been able to guess it was 50,000 before, but would I be able to guess it now? That is 70. I'll be guessing between 80, 90, maybe
90.
60, 70. Do you understand? So the person seeing it does not need that time. That's time wasted to do all of that. Just showing the person this way, the person understands. So first of all, so that's your goal. Your goal as an analyst is also to, I know as Nigerians, we like to make people see that we worked hard, that we did a lot. But that's not your job as an analyst. Your job as an analyst is to do a lot in the backyard and present it like what you did was play. But those who know, they understand that to be able to have achieved what you achieved is a lot of work. You understand? But still and still, do not begin to show too much complexity. So your goal is to make things easier for people. Please do not carry the mentality that a lot of us we've actually been brought up with in our environment and society, which is, oh yeah, let them know that I did a lot of things. No, simple is best. Okay, but to achieve that simple, it usually takes a lot of work. I hope we're all together.
Yes, oh yeah. Very understood.
Okay. So basically, these are places you can play around with. Then now you can move your chart to a chart area. When you right click on the chart, you see that again. Okay, sorry. Right click on the chart, you can see move chart. Move chart, you have new data sheet, new sheets. You can name it. You click on OK, it takes you to a new place. So if you want a whole new place, you don't want it disturbing where you are, but you know that the data is being gotten from this place. All right. So, but everything down here, good. So, that's basically it. So the key things, take note: the bar charts, line charts are best for growth views to be able to see a trend. That's why you use line charts a lot more times. Then bar charts, when you're looking at comparison, you just need to see something as simple as this. It's not like line charts can't do all of these things, but does it really express it the way it's just when you see it, you understand it? Okay. So those are things you begin to test as you work on yourself, as you do better. Show people your results and just ask them, when you look at this, what do you understand? Don't explain the background about the whole thing. Just ask them, do you understand as you see this? What do you understand from this? That gives you a better understanding of if anybody sees what you've done, do they understand it easily? Do they really get the point? Do they get what you're trying to push out there? If they don't, then you keep working better to be able to express that. Take notes, stakeholders, top men that you're presenting to, whatever you analyze, they do not have the time to go through every single detail. They want the reason they employed us, the reason they employed you, the reason they employed that whole team. The reason they employed that whole team. Can you still hear me, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The reason they employed that whole team is to be able to do what? To be able to people will do the hard work and just give them the result. They just want to be seeing the results. Board meetings is basically to just discuss the final results. The general employees, the different management staff, they've discussed in detail deeper things and they've gotten their final. So they possibly started conversations. They started conversations. They started conversations with probably 20 options. After they finished talking and scrutinizing, they came down to 5 options. And they now present the board with 3 options because they've spoken deeper. The board now looks at the 3 options, these are the best options. Which one should we start with? Then they decide and they move forward. The board does not know that it started with 20 options and they really don't care about it. All they know is that this is what they get to see, and the smaller it is, the easier it is for them, the better. Are we together?
Yes, sir.
All right, so everybody, with this few points of mine, I hope I've been able to convince you and not confuse you. You guys now understand the basics of analytics in Excel. Thank you very much. God bless you. Any questions I can answer, I will answer. But Mr. Solomon will share with you the assessment and then the videos from the classes. You will have access to them. So you're welcome. You're welcome. Do you have any questions?
And so I have a question from the salary part where I had that issue.
Yes.
Yeah. When I finally got it out, then I now highlighted for all the salaries to come out. But one of the names, the salary didn't show, but the others showed.
What did this show? It was empty.
It was showing N/A, but the other salaries came out. So I now changed the name. The name I now changed to the salary came out.
So the name that you wrote, was there a difference in text? Was there like a capital, small letter mix?
So I checked. Let me try and retype it again.
Type it exactly the way it is in the table and let me know. But minus that, if that doesn't work, then there are certain things that just are problems in Excel. I don't even know if I'll say it's the Excel of the system that requires you to restart your Excel. Click on those spaces that are having the issue and just click on them. And then if it's more than one place, highlight everything, click on delete. You understand? Sometimes just certain functions have made those places stagnant. So click on them, hit on delete, and retype your formula. It usually works. If that doesn't work, you have to restart it.
All right, sir. All right.
Okay. Any other question as we close?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. All right. All right. It was been lovely knowing you guys, and I've enjoyed the class so far. Do enjoy the rest of your night, and good night.
Thank you, sir. Good night, sir.
Yeah. Welcome. Good night, everybody.
Good night, sir. Thank you for the classes.
You're welcome. night. Good night. Good night, guys.